athletes will just do a little quick reset here, get set back into the gates. The starter will get them underway.
Ready, set.
And we have a start in the second semifinal of the women's K1 200 meters, top 3 advancing to the A final. Really strong start here from Slovenia's Anja Osterman, but also from the Singapore athlete So Michelle Russell in the mix right in the middle for Canada. France's Vanina Paoletti also powering through as they're approaching the last 100 meters. 4-boat race here, top 3 advancing to the A final. Does look like Michelle Russell is in the mix here to advance to the A final as we're getting to the last 50 meters. But Anja Osterman from Slovenia currently in the lead with France Vanina Paoletti and Canada's Michelle Russell as we're approaching the last few meters of this race. Coming in the top 3 here, Slovenia's Anja Osterman taking the win here in the second semifinal of the K1 Women 200. Will advance to the A final, and she'll be joined by France's Vanina Paoletti and Canada's Michelle Russell.
Such strong, powerful racing. Oh my goodness, what a great result for Michelle Russell from Canada, but all the athletes that go through this, they've done the job. Now it's time for the final, and that's the true showcase. But the semifinal is tons of aggression. You can see it in their eyes. They're putting in those powerful strokes, trying to get that boat across the line as quickly as possible. So much balance, so much stability, like core rotation as they draw the paddle through the water. Explosive as you can. Great results. It's going to be an exciting final to watch.
Yeah, it certainly is. I always wonder, you know, after that false start that we saw there, how much does that play into the nerves that are already there for the athletes at the start line?
Yeah, it certainly does play in a little bit, but you learn that in the sport. You do get used to it. You know to expect it. So you just kind of sometimes they'll make you do a little lap, but in this case they just back them off the line, and then it's a quick reset to get them underway again. But you do need to refocus and tune back in to take advantage of that explosive start.
And luckily we did still see an explosive start there, and there's the confirmation we do have of the results there with Slovenia, France, and Canada moving on to the A final. So looking forward to seeing that. Thank you so much for joining us, Karen.
Oh my gosh, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much. Go Canada, go!
All right, and we are over to the start line again with you, PL.
Thanks very much, Priya. We're just about to get underway here in the women's C1 200, and actually we're getting quite lucky because we're also being joined by another guest here for this race. So Laurence Vincent Lapointe will be joining us here for some reactions and commentary for this women's C1 200 meters semifinal.
Yes, so great to have you, Laurence. And I think we're gonna go to the start. Oh, I think we have time for a quick question actually here. Perfect. I was reading in your bio, Laurence, that your role model when you began canoeing was another Olympian, Dave Frost, who helped you get into the sport. But what does it mean to you now to know that young women have strong female role models like you that they can look to for inspiration?
It makes me very proud, because what happened when I started, like you said, is I only had male role models, and knowing that some athletes have started because of me just makes me so very proud and so happy to see the progress in our sport.
And that's so great, Laurence. As we get a shot now from the athletes on the line, we'll have in lane 1 from Hungary, Kincho-Takat. In lane 2 from Nigeria, Goodness Foloki. In lane 3 from the Ukraine, Lyudmila Luzan, the 2020 Tokyo Olympian and silver medal in C2 and bronze in C1. In lane 4 from Chile, Maria Mayar, 2020 Tokyo Olympian racing C1 200 and C2 500, world champion in the 500. In lane 5 from Georgia, Mariami Kiadikashvili, silver at the 2021 Under-23 World Championship. Lane 6 from Croatia, Vanessa Tot, the 2020 Tokyo Olympian in C1 200. Lane 7, France, Virginie d'Orange. Lane 8, Senegal, Kombe Sek. And in lane 9, Mexico, Stephanie Guzman, as we're about to get underway.
Hold your positions, 8 forward, ready, set.
And we have a start in this semi-final of the women's C1 200 meters, top 3 advancing to the A final. Star-studded field here with a number of these athletes being on the line last year at the Olympics, in the Tokyo 2020 Olympics in C2 and C1. Medalists here on the line as well as we're approaching the 100-meter point of this mark. It does look like a really strong start from Chile's Maria Mayar. driving through Luzanne as well, having a great race so far as these two athletes are powering through. Third place very much open and in contention as we're approaching 70 meters to go. It does look like the athlete from Croatia and France in the mix here as we're approaching this. A strong push from Georgia's Mariami as well as we're getting closer to the finish line here, getting very close for those top three positions. But it does look like Chile from Ukraine and Croatia coming in third place here. Vanessa Todt from lane 6 securing a berth into the A final. But congratulations here, Maria Maillard taking the win here in the C1 200 meters semifinal.
And Laurence, you've got a big smile on your face. What do you think of the race?
I'm very, very surprised. Well, not surprised because I know these ladies. I've paddled with them, and I could see some of them do their such a good race today, and I could almost predict, but also I'm happy to see that everything is so close because I actually raced against Maria and Ludmila last year, and Ludmila, I mean, came on the podium with me at the Olympic Games, so I knew they were really strong contenders, and it's fun to see the fight for third place was so close, and really amazing to see.
Yeah, you know, and it's great to have you here with us. What's going through your mind in a race like this?
Honestly, I'm just watching, look at the power, and I know, so for these ladies, this is the semi, this is their last chance to make it to the final. So I know they're really fighting for that first 2-3 spot, and they know it's their last chance to make it to final. So I know they are giving everything they've got.
Yeah, absolutely. So much focus there. And just before we let you go, how's the time going?
It's great. I'm looking at them, not stressed, and I'm enjoying it. So congratulations to the girls. I'm super impressed. Hi, Maria.
Laurence, we actually do have some extra time here, so maybe you can tell us a little bit about what you've been doing in your retirement. Actually, just before that, just confirmation here that Chile, Ukraine, and Croatia are moving on to the A final. So yeah, what have you been up to with all your free time now?
Back in school during the winter, during the summer, I had fun as a barmaid. Very, very fun job. And here on this beautiful course, I've been at the merch tent for CKC. So if you want to try and get some exclusive Canadian team stuff, we're there. So yeah.
Okay, that's great to hear. I also heard a rumor that you are signing autographs.
Actually, I was, and I still am if people want this stuff to be signed, but yeah.
You know, you've been such an inspiration for a lot of young athletes, and you and I were actually just chatting yesterday, of course, about medals and how exciting it is to win them, but you were saying that the biggest reward for you has really been seeing young women come up to you and tell you that you're the reason they joined the sport.
And more than that, it's seeing that women are allowed to race in C1 and C2 and just be allowed to do what they want. Seeing that happen, I started There Was Nothing for young women, and I'm very insanely proud to see the progress we've gone through. And well, it's always a good feeling for me when someone says, like you said, like you mentioned, you're the reason why I started.
Yeah, you know, and I think that everyone here would agree that you have been such a great role model, and it's so wonderful to see you coming back here to an event like this to volunteer, to sign autographs, and to talk to other young people who are interested in the sport. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
And maybe we'll see you back out on the water again, who knows?
Well, I don't think so, but maybe.
All right, thanks so much, Laurence.
And we're about 5 minutes away here, and thanks very much for Laurence Vincent on that point, joining us here in the booth for a little bit of commentary. She'll be on site all day, and I'm sure people can pick her out in the crowd as well if they want to go for a nice chat. But thanks very much, Laurence and Karen, for some of the commentary here. We're just about 5 minutes away here from the men's K1 200-meter semifinals. Again, there will be 2 semifinals here with the top 3 advancing to the A final. So stay tuned in just a few minutes as we're getting ready for one of those fast and furious events for the 200-meter distance.
200 meters, semifinal number 1. Lane 1, Sydney, Taipei. Lane 2, Australia. Lane 3, Georgia. Lane 4, Israel. Lane 5, Germany. Lane 6, Latvia. Lane 7, Slovenia. Lane 8, Czech Republic. lane 9, Pakistan. Number 144, K1 at 200 meters, semifinal number 1, 4 minutes to the start, 4 minutes.
Start line, we have the K1 up here in just a few minutes, Biel.
Yeah, so 2 exciting races coming our way. Full semifinals here. First 3 to the A final, next 4 and 1 best time to the B final. So a lot of great racing coming. In lane 1, the 22-year-old who raced K1 200 and K4 500 at the 2019 Duisburg World Cup from Chinese Taipei, Wen Wang. In lane 2, the 26-year-old first World Championships but semi-finalist in Poznan earlier this year from Australia, Lachlan. The K1 200 entry for Georgia since his junior days in 2013, a 200 specialist in 11th last year at the World Championship from Georgia, Barikeva Lerchiv. In lane 4, the 23-year-old racing internationally since 2015 and semi-finalist in this event last year, and B finalist at the Under-23 World Championship from Israel, Stav Mizrahi. In lane 5, 6th at the Under-23 Worlds last year and 15th last year at the World Championship from Germany, Jonas Draeger.
Semifinal number 1, we have still 2 minutes to the start, 2 minutes.
In lane 6, the Tokyo Olympian in K1 200 finishing 8th World Championship bronze medalist from Latvia, Robert Akmens. In lane 7, the 3-time world champion and 4-time world medalist in wild water canoeing, 6th in Poznan from Slovenia, Vid de Beljak. In lane 8, semi-finalist at last year's World Championship and 9th at the Under-23 World Championship from the Czech Republic, Martin Sobishek. And in lane 9, after he competed in all 3 distances in K1 at the 2019 World Championships from Pakistan, Safan Swale. So just about to get underway here in about 2 minutes as athletes are making their way to the start line. In lane 1, Chinese Taipei. In lane 2, Australia. In lane 3, Georgia. In lane 4, Israel. In lane 5, Germany. Lane 6, Latvia. Lane 7, Slovenia. Lane 8, the Czech Republic. And in lane 9, Pakistan. Top 3 going to the A final, 4th to 7th, and 1 best time to the B final.
Lane 9 forward, please. Lane 8 forward, please. Lane 6 forward, please. Thank you, gentlemen. Ready, set.
And we have a start in the first of 2 semifinals of the men's K1 200 meters. Top 3 advancing to the A final. Strong start here from Latvia's Robert Akmens, but also from Israel's Stav Mizrahi. As we get to the 100 meters, 5 or 6 athletes in the mix here for those top spots. Again, top 3 moving to the A final. Such a close race as we're entering a number of boats within the same nose length as we're coming through. Does look like Latvia just slightly ahead, but so close here. 4 or 5 boats coming into the line, earning those top 3 spots. It does look like Latvia, then Germany, and then so close to call for 3rd place. And winner of this first semifinal from Latvia, Robert Akmans.
Yes, you can see him celebrating there. Definitely happy with that race and that finish. Waving to the fans too.
Yeah, what a solid race here from Robert Akmans. Earning a spot into the A final. Will be one to watch for medals later this week. But great start here as we saw Germany a little bit slower off the line. Maybe got surprised by the start there, but able to recover here and come back. Robert Akmans just in control though, eyes down the lake, getting ready to produce a strong performance here, but such power here by all of these athletes. The 200 is so unforgiving that it's so great to see such a close race and athletes being able to deliver. So it does look like Latvia by about a nose, then Germany, and then in 3rd place. I'm so close here between a number of these athletes, but looks like Georgia Paracanoe is coming in to take this 3rd spot into the A final. So we'll await confirmation of those official results to know who's advancing to the A and B final from this first semifinal of the men's K1 200.
And after this, just one more men's K1 200 meters semifinal. So 3 more spots that are left in that final. And then we're heading back to the 1,000-meter mark for a pair of men's C1 semis. And here we go with that final confirmation. Yes, Latvia taking that first spot, Germany taking the 2nd, and Georgia taking that coveted 3rd spot in the A final, with Israel, Czech Republic, and Slovenia moving on to the B final.
And just about to get underway in a few minutes here in the 2nd semifinal of the men's K1 200 meters. About 3 minutes away, athletes from Puerto Rico, Singapore, the United States, Canada, Portugal, Italy, New Zealand, Trinidad and Tobago, and Belize. In lane 1, the 21-year-old semi-finalist at the Under-23 World Championship last year from Puerto Rico, Eddie Barranco. In lane 2, the semi-finalist at last year's World Championships in K1 500 and 200 from Singapore, Brandon Oid. In lane 3, 15th in the K1 500 at the Under-23 World Championships last year, who races from the Oklahoma Canoe Club from the United States, Augustus Cook. In lane 4, the 2020 Olympian racing the K1 200 there, finishing 14th from Canada, Nick Matviv. In lane 5, bronze at the 2021 Global Qualifier, 9th at Worlds last year, and bronze in Poznan earlier this year from Portugal, Kevin Santos. In lane 6, the 2016 B finalist at the Under-23 World Championships, winner of the K1 500 B final in Recife from Italy, Giacomo Cinti. In lane 7, the 23-year-old K2 and K4 specialist, but doubling up in K1 5 and K1 200 this week, New Zealand's Ashton Reeser. In lane 8, the 26-year-old who represented his country at the last 2 World Championships, reaching the semi in K1 200 last year from Trinidad and Tobago, Nicholas Robinson. And in lane 9, competed on all 3 distances at the 2019 World Championships from Belize, Amanda Cruz. So in lane 1, Puerto Rico, in lane 2, Singapore, lane 3, United States, lane 4, Canada, lane 5, Portugal, lane 6, Italy, lane 7, New Zealand, lane 8, Trinidad and Tobago, and lane 9, Belize. Top 3 advancing to the A final.
Thank you, gentlemen. Ready, set.
And we have a start here in the 2nd semifinal of the men's K1 200-meter event. Top 3 advancing to the A final. Strong start here from Portugal and Canada here in lane 2 as well. Italy as well out there in the mix.
Halifax, but really looking strong here for a number of these athletes. Nick Matfief out really strongly as we're approaching the last 100 meters here. Watch him in lane 4. Portugal as well in lane 5, and Italy in lane 6. All 3 athletes going to the A final. Getting to the last few meters here, it is Canada, Portugal, and Italy. New Zealand making a late charge, but Canada takes this second semifinal over Portugal and Italy.
Oh yeah, and the hometown crowd going wild out there for Nick Matfief. Congrats to him. First place finish there. So focused through that whole race. You could really see him working hard, looking straight ahead.
Yeah, what a great performance here, building on the last few years, part of the K4, the K1, and great representation from the Balmy Beach Canoe Club here supporting Nick and all the other athletes. So great to see him have a great race, and looking forward to seeing him in the final. Again, really strong start from Nick here, and also from Singapore's Brandon Oy. Throughout the weekend, having some great starts off the line, but here Portugal's Kevin Santos and Giacomo Cinti as well, just blasting off the line in the first few meters and able to maintain their advantage. But focused and concentration here from Nick Matfief as he executed his race plan all the way to the finish to take this win in the second semifinal of the men's K1 200.
Great win for him. Next up, we have semifinal number 1 of 2 in the men's C1 1,000-meter event. And we would like to thank our sponsors ahead of that, Sport Canada, the province of Nova Scotia, and the Halifax Regional Municipality for supporting this event.
Donc avant de commencer les semi-finales des hommes C1 1000 mètres, nous voulons prendre un moment pour remercier nos commanditaires Sport Canada, la province de la Nouvelle-Écosse et la municipalité régionale d'Halifax. And we do have confirmation of those results, so Nick Matfief, Kevin Santos, and Giacomo Cinti advancing to the A final, New Zealand, Singapore, the United States, and Belize moving on to the B final. And the next race is going to be the C1 1,000-meter semifinals. Those will start at 3:10, so we have about 13 minutes until the start of that race. So we will take a small break, and we will be back in just a few minutes.
Team leader of Nigeria, please come to the competition committee. In the tower, please. The team leader of Nigeria, please come to the competition committee in the tower, please. Thank you.
Could we please have the team leader from Nigeria to the tower, please? The team leader for Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Start race number 127, no, 47, I'm sorry, C1 man, 1000 meters, semifinal number 1, lane 1 Bulgaria, lane 2 Slovakia, lane 3 Canada, lane 4 Moldova, lane 5 Ukraine, lane 6 Poland, lane 7 China, lane 8 Latvia, and lane 9 United States. 5 minutes to the start. Into the start of race number 147, C1 man 1000 meters, semifinal number 1, 4 minutes to the start, 4 minutes. for the Santos race number 147, C1 9,000 meters, semifinal number 1. All boats please come to the starting area. In your lane, in lane 1, Bulgaria, lane 2, Slovakia, lane 3, Canada, lane 4, Moldova, lane 5, Ukraine, lane 6, Poland, lane 7, China, lane 8, Latvia, and lane 9, United States.
Yeah, some exciting racing coming in. A few athletes out of position, not advancing automatically, so these semifinals are loaded. Top 3 advancing to the A final, 4th to 7th, and 1 best time to the B final. Nice shot here down the lake of the 1,000-meter race. A long way here as the athletes have to contend on Lake Banook, all the way down to the finish line. In lane 1, the 2016 Rio Olympian and silver medalist in C1 500 in 2019 from Bulgaria, Angel Kodinov. In lane 2, the B finalist in the C1000 last year at the World Championship from Slovakia, Matej Rusnak. In lane 3, the Tokyo 2020 Olympian in C1000 and coming 6th in C2000 with Roland Varga, the 2021 World Under-23 C1 500-meter champion from Canada, Connor Fitzpatrick. In lane 4, the Olympic bronze medalist and 2015 World bronze medalist from Moldova, Sergei Tarnovsky. In lane 5, the Tokyo 2020 and Rio 2016 Olympian racing C1000 and C2000, 11th in 2019 from Ukraine, Pavlo Altukov. In lane 6, the 2020 Olympian in C2000 and C1000, 3-time silver world medalist in C2 and C4 from Poland, Viktor Glazunov. In lane 7, the Tokyo 2020 8th place finisher in C1000 and winner of the Asian Olympic qualifier last year from China, Pengfei Zhang. In lane 8, 6th at the 2021 Under-23 World Championships and silver medalist in C1000 at the 2017 Junior World Championship from Latvia, Robert Laktins. And in lane 9, from the Washington Canoe Club, from the United States, Ian Ross. And we are about to get underway here in the first of 2 semifinals in the C1 Men 1,000 meter, top 3 advancing to the A final, next 4 plus 1 best time, moving on to the B final. Again, this is one of the top events in the men's canoe field. The 1,000 meter, still the Olympic distance, as athletes are starting their Olympic preparation for the qualifier next year and the Olympics in Paris in 2024.
And we talked about these heats a little bit earlier, yeah, because there were some athletes who didn't make it through in the heats that maybe were expected to, so it should make for some interesting semifinals here.
Yeah, certainly that second semifinal is really difficult, so athletes are probably breathing a bit of relief that they're in the first one, but still so many good athletes here, including bronze medalists from the Olympic, Sergei Tarnovsky, but also some world champions and world medalists. And we do have a start here in this 1,000-meter event for the C1 1,000 meter. Again, in lane 1, Bulgaria, lane 2, Slovakia, lane 3, Canada, lane 4, Moldova, lane 5, Ukraine, lane 6, Poland, lane 7, China, lane 8, Latvia, and in lane 9, the United States. And strong start here from a number of these athletes. Lane 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all in the mix here as the opening stages of this 1,000 meters. The wind has picked up a little bit, so it is a longer race here in this 1,000. Lots of power, got to pace yourself and execute your race plan really well. But early on, it is a really tight race, and it looks like Poland, China, Ukraine, and Moldova are edging out a little bit in front of Bulgaria and Canada at this stage. And at the 250 mark here, it is Moldova over Poland and China and the Ukraine, but all within 0.3 of a second. So such a close field here. Top 3 advancing, and we have 4 boats here within 0.3 of a second in the first 250.
Again, Poland just making a little bit of a move here, starting to take the lead, accelerating here as they're approaching the 500 meters. So it is China, Poland, and Moldova just in front a little bit of Paweł Altikov from the Ukraine. Connor Fitzpatrick from Canada in lane 3, just a little bit behind at this point. We know he has a really strong second half of his race, so expecting a lot for him as they cross the 500. Sergei Tarnavsky here just moving back a little bit from Moldova as well as he's continuing to contend this semi-final. But close racing here, 3 athletes in the mix. Paweł Altikov from the Ukraine still in there as well. Still anyone's game here as we approach the 500 meters. So it is Poland from Moldova, China, and the Ukraine. Connor Fitzpatrick sitting comfortably in 4th now as he's starting to make a move here, or in 5th, pardon me, as he's starting to make a move here on the Ukrainian athletes and starting to reel some of the field back. But it is Moldova, Poland, and China right now in command of those 3 spots that will be moving to the A final with about 400 meters to go in this 1,000-meter event. About 300 meters to go, those red buoys there. Athletes can see the finish line looming closer and closer. They'll start to accelerate their rate as they're starting their last push. We'll get our 2:50 split time here in just a second, but it does look like Poland from Moldova and China are the top 3 positions at this stage. Lithuania and Canada neck and neck now for that 4th position. At the 200, it is Moldova from Poland and China, Canada and the Ukraine currently in a battle for that 4th place. We're seeing the athlete Sergei Tarnavsky from Moldova just picking up the rate a little bit, wanting to secure the win here, but we'll see if Poland and China are reacting to that last pressure here. But Connor Fitzpatrick making a move here for 4th place, passing Paweł Altikov here from the Ukraine and moving on to securing that 4th place here. But it is those top 3 from Moldova, Poland, and China currently in control and looking to move on to the A final. And just with a few meters to go, just relaxing and saving some energy. But it is China taking the win, Moldova coming in 2nd, but celebrating, moving to the A final here. Pengfei Zhang from China taking the win in this first semi-final. Connor Fitzpatrick coming in 4th place here. Will be contending the B final a little bit later this week. But what a great race here in this first of 2 semi-final in the men's C1 1,000 meters. Pretty windy conditions out there. Straight headwind, however, so not impacting or favoring athletes from the left or on the right, or at least from what we can see here from the finish line. But really good, powerful stroke. When it's a headwind, 1,000 meters a long way. The boat doesn't glide as much, so you do need a little bit more power in adjusting your race plan. But great execution here from the Polish athlete, Viktor Glazunov, securing his spot into the A final.
The Chinese athlete here just right at the end there, just really pushing to get that 1st place spot.
Yeah, not looking around, not easing up. Sergei Tarnavsky just easing up with about 20 meters to go and just getting past here. So that will still put him in the A final, different lane for the final. And then Connor Fitzpatrick just coming for a strong finish here, coming in 4th place. Slovakia's Matej Rusnak in 5th.
Lane 1, Bulgaria to the boat control, please. Lane 1.
We do have 3 more spots in that A final. They will be determined in the next semi-final here. And we do have our results coming in here, official results. So China, Moldova, and Poland moving on to the A final. Canada, Slovakia, Ukraine, and USA moving on to the B final. So again, 3 more spots left in that A final. And it looks like we've got the lineup for the second semifinal here, PL.
Yeah, really exciting second semifinal. Athletes from Mexico, Estonia, Cuba, Brazil, Czech Republic, Hungary, Spain, Chinese Taipei, and Japan. As we're getting ready to go here, athletes are in the starting block, and we are underway in the second semifinal from the C1 1000 meter. Again, top 3 athletes moving on. Some really, really strong athletes, finalists from Tokyo last year in this race. And again, great start here from Martin Fuchsa, the 2-time Olympian. He is a 5-time silver medalist in this event, including 2021, and he is the world record holder. That record won't get broken today, as it is quite a windy day, but great to see him out there. Strong start as well from the Brazilian Ezequiel dos Santos in lane 4. He's the defending Olympic champion in this event and silver in 2016. Strong start here, taking a little bit of a lead, as well as lane 3, Jose Cordova, the 2020 Olympian, winner of the B final in Tokyo. So certainly a lot of experienced athlete here in the opening stages of this race, but it is about a 5-boat race early on, and then pushing through the field again. Top 3 moving to the A final. So a number of athletes will be vying, but at the first split, it is Brazil from Hungary, Spain, and Cuba. Martin Fuchsa sitting in 5th place at the moment. Again, from Hungary, Balázs Adolf as well, the bronze medalist from last year's World Championship. So lots of really, really good paddlers out there in the 1,000 meters. This is a really difficult semifinal. Could almost be an A final in many regards for many World Cups or some of the World Championships. So quite exciting for us here to see all these athletes go head-to-head in this semifinal. But it is still Brazil from Hungary, and then Cuba at this stage. Spain and the Czech Republic are also in contention at this point. Spain's Pablo Crespo, 10th at the Under-23 World Championships in the 500 last year, so certainly has some speed in the early stages of his race, but it is all Brazil here in the first half of this race. Hungary is mounting a bit of a challenge as we're approaching the 500 here, so it is Brazil from Hungary, and then very close between Cuba and Spain, and then Martin Fuchsa from the Czech Republic in 5th place at the moment, sticking close to the leading pack. And would expect athletes to be picking up the rate a little bit passing the 500. That's usually an area where you want to be giving a little bit of surge, injecting energy into your race, and we're seeing that happen here. The Hungarians just catching up a little bit on Brazil. Jose Cordova from Cuba still holding on to 3rd place, but such a close field here between these top 5 athletes for only 3 spots moving to the A final.
You can certainly see everyone really digging in, mustering all of that energy here in these last few hundred meters.
Yeah, and Brazil reacting to Hungary's push here, just putting back a little bit of distance and controlling the pace of this race. Martin Fuchs is starting to make a move now as they're approaching the last 250 meters, moving back into contention. It is still Brazil, Hungary, Cuba, but the Czech Republic, Martin Fuchsa, starting to pick up his rate here and start to challenge the Cuban athlete and the Hungarian. Brazil still in control, starting to gain a little bit more of a lead, but so close between the 3 boats of Cuba and the Czech Republic and Hungary here for those last spot into the A final. And you can see Martin Fuchsa just picking up the rate here, making a move on the rest of the field. Jose Cordova trying to move and react as well. Balázs Adolf is also moving from Hungary. Very, very close race here for those 3 spots as we're coming into the closing stages of this race. Last 100 meters. Ezequiel Santos still in the lead. Martin Fuchsa moving on him now. The Hungarian reacting and coming back on Jose Cordova from Cuba. But really close race here for those top 3 spots. Hungary picking up the rate again, trying to really secure that spot. It is Brazil currently, the Czech Republic, but so close for 3rd here between Cuba and Hungary as we're coming to the last few strokes, and it is Cuba taking that 3rd place.
Whew. That was an exciting ending there.
And certainly.
And the semifinal.
And taking the win from Brazil, Ezequiel Santos here, controlling this 1,000 meters. Martin Fuchsa coming in 2nd place, and close finish between Cuba's Jose Cordova in 3rd and Balázs Adolf from Hungary.
And Santos seems to have quite a fan base here. Lots of loud cheers at the finish line. Congratulations to those 3 athletes who will make it through to the A final.
Yeah, and tough program for these athletes. You would have seen a number of them in the 500 a little bit earlier today, having to go through the semifinal. So that's why advancing directly from the heats to the final allows you to save some time here. But certainly great to see in good form here. Top contenders in the A final, but controlled here from the Brazilian, as you'd expect to see. Dominated the field last year in Tokyo. So great to see him in great shape here. But what a race for third here. 5 athletes at the 500. And then weeding down to 4, and then just 3 are remaining that will move on to the A final. So again, just coming in the slow motion here, Jose Cordova just trying to hold on and stay in front of Balázs Adolf, and so close, just about a few inches here as we're closing the race. Shooting his bow just a little bit early to secure that over the Hungarian athlete.
So we now have our 9 finalists for the C1 1,000 meter that will happen later this week. There they are. Brazil, Czech Republic, and Cuba all moving on to the A final. Hungary, Estonia, Spain, and Mexico, and Chinese Taipei moving on to the B final.
Yeah, certainly those 2 finals will be quite exciting to watch as we get set to get underway here for the K2 men's 1,000 meters.
Yeah, so we've got 1 semifinal here. And ahead of that, Canoe 22 would like to share a note of appreciation to Canoe-Kayak Canada for their partnership in hosting the World Championships here on Lake Banook. And a very special thank you to the Atlantic Division of CKC for all of the hard work they've put in to help us ready the event site and racehorse.
And it looks like the athletes are already on the start line here. We'll have in lane 2 Mexico, lane 3 Spain, lane 4 Slovakia, lane 5 Canada, lane 6 the USA, lane 7 Singapore, lane 8 Puerto Rico. So your Canadian representative in lane 5 in this first semifinal of the men's K2 1,000 meters. And we have a start here in this event. Once again, top 3 advancing to the A final. Strong start here from Slovakia's crew of Samuel Balázs and Denis Mislak, the 2020 Olympic bronze medalist in K4 500 and 10th last year at the World Championships. Strong controlled pace here from Slovakia. A number of boats will be in contention, but Slovakia just jumping up to the front here. It does look like Spain and Canada are also in the top 3 position at this stage, approaching the 250 mark here in this 1,000-meter K2 event. So it is Slovakia from Spain, then Canada, and then Singapore and the United States staking close. Mexico not giving up either, still in the mix here in the early stages of this race, but it is Slovakia controlling the pace from Spain, and Canada currently in 3rd place looking to advance to the A final of the men's K2 1,000 meters. So at the 500-meter mark, it is still Slovakia about a boat length over Spain. Top 2 far out away, and then Canada coming in 3rd place, trying to hold on. The United States, Singapore, Puerto Rico, and Mexico for that 3rd and final spot into the A final. But controlling the pace, low rate, lots of power, lots of glide is Slovakia here. Balázs and Misak, the 2020 Olympic bronze medalists in K4 500. The Spanish crew is just on their heel, just trying to maintain pace here, rate a little bit higher, and Canada still holding on to that 3rd place at the moment with about 400 meters to go in this 1,000-meter K2 event. So about 300 meters to go here. Athletes will be controlling and just making sure that they're doing enough. Canada's picking up the pace a little bit here. Can see that stroke rate come up a little bit. Part of their race plan here to accelerate before they hit the 250. But Slovakia, Spain from Canada, who's currently in a
A final position if they're able to maintain this advantage. Mexico making a move here, continuing to push and trying to challenge Canada. They're raising the rate a little bit as well, but it does look like at this stage it is Slovakia, Spain who's increasing the rate here, trying to challenge the Slovakians, and Canada sitting in third. But Mexico is picking up the race in lane 2 as well, trying to mount a challenge here. But approaching the last 100, it is now Spain from Slovakia, and then Canada still sitting in third and looking good for an A final berth if they can maintain this advantage over Mexico. And Spain just blowing through here in the last few meters, going through Slovakia. And it does look like Canada will be securing this third spot here. Brian Malfazy and Cameron Lowe just crossing the line, getting to the A final in this men's K2 1,000 meter. But Ettore Gorotevsky and Pedro Vasquez from Spain taking the win here in this semi-final of the K2 men's 1,000 meter.
Congrats to Spain, and great to see our Canadians there coming in with that third place finish. Looking forward to seeing them in the final.
So again, Slovakia just in control throughout the race here. You can see rate pretty low, able to drive and continue to just be in front of the field, controlling the pace, saving some energy, spending as little as they had to qualify here to the A final, expecting them to be pushing for a medals contention in this event as well, an experienced crew, and then not really caring about letting the Spanish crew take the win here as they're easing off in the last 50 meters of this race. But great to see Canada's crew of Cameron Lowe and Brian Malfazy crossing the line in third here and earning a spot in the final in this K2 men's 1,000 meter.
We would like to offer a special thank you to Extra Care Taxi. They have made our event accessible for all. Here we go with those final results. Spain, Slovakia, and Canada all heading to that A final in the K2 men's 1,000 meter. Up next at the start line, we have the women's K1 semifinal in the 1,000 meter as well. So again, looking for top 3 finishes here to get a spot in the final.
Yeah, and again, big headwind here on Lake Banook today, so slow times. It will be a long K1 women 1,000 meter. You have to pace yourself, execute your race plan as needed, but should be a really exciting race here for those top 3 spots that will mean advancing to the A final. So we'll have representatives from Canada, the United States, Germany, the Czech Republic, Italy, Singapore, Sweden, and Mexico in this semi-final.
Ladies, we have a good number of things, so please hold your positions there.
So we're just about to get underway here in a minute in this semi-final. Top 3 to the final rest out, and they will be eliminated from this event, given there will be no B final in the women's K1000. So in lane 1, member of the Canadian K2 and K4 team over the last few years, representing the Balmy Beach Canoe Club from Canada, Courtney Stott. In lane 2, the 25-year-old in her first World Championship to race K2 and K4 earlier this year in Poznan and Rachice from the United States, Savannah Wright. In lane 3, the silver medalist in the under-23 K2 500 in 2021 and 2018 from Germany, Julia Herger. In lane 4, the silver medalist of the K1000 at the 2021 under-23 World Championship from the Czech Republic, Anexka Paludova. In lane 5, from Italy, the 2017 under-23 K1000 finalist from Italy, Irene Burgo. In lane 6, the 26-year-old who's bringing her 2019 World Marathon Championship experience to the 1,000 is Singapore's Angelica Si. In lane 7, the 21-year-old member of the sprint and marathon team from Sweden, Rebecca Gårdsdotter. And in lane 9, the 19-year-old K4 500 silver medalist at the Junior Pan Am Games in 2021 from Mexico, Aileen Gonzalez. And we have a start here in the semifinal of the K1 Women 1,000 meter, top 3 advancing to the A final. Strong start here from the athletes in lane 1, 3, 4, and 6 as we are heading through the first little bit of this 1,000 meter, approaching 200 meters in this race. It does look like Canada's Courtney Stott is having a great start to this race so far, as she is in contention here with the German, the Czech athlete, and the Swedish athlete. At the 250 meter mark, it is Canada's Courtney Stott in the lead at this point, with Germany, the Czech Republic, and Sweden completing the top 4. But Courtney Stott, the German, and the Czech are a little bit clear now of the Swedish athlete, a little bit ahead of Irene Burgo from Italy in lane 5. But again, top 3 to the final in this race. It does look like right now the athlete from Germany in lane 3, Julia Hergert, is starting to come on strong and taking a little bit of a lead over Agnieszka Paludova from the Czech Republic. Sweden's Rebecca Gårdsdotter also having a great race, as well as Courtney Stott from Canada, still in contention here for a place in the top 3 as we're approaching the 500 meter mark. And at the 500, it is currently the German leading the Czech athlete, and then Sweden. Canada's Courtney Stott currently in 4th place with 500 meters to go in this women's K1 1,000 meters semifinal. Bit of a move here from the Czech athlete Agnieszka Paludova, the silver medalist in the K1000 at the Under-23 World Championship last year, accelerating to take a small lead here over the German and the Swede athlete. Courtney Stott's rate just increasing a little bit, trying to react to the field, but we're also seeing Irene Burgo from Italy making a little bit of a move now in the second half of this race. The last 250 meters here, it is the Czech athlete Agnieszka Paludova in the lead over Julia Hergert, and then Rebecca Gårdsdotter from Sweden in the top 3 position. Italy's now taken over the 4th position, but accelerating here in the last 200 as they're approaching. But top 3 are a few boat ahead now. A lot of work to do for Irene Burgo from Italy if she wants to earn a berth into this A final. Courtney Stott still hanging on strong here into the top 5 as we are in the last 150 here of this 1,000 meter race. But Paludova is continuing to increase her lead here over the rest of the field. Germany, Julia Hergert, and Sweden's Rebecca Gårdsdotter still in the top 3, enough for them to get through the A final. But Irene Burgo is coming on strong here in the last little 100 meters. She is moving quickly through the field, so some of these athletes are going to have to be careful or she may overtake them. She's actually moving through and might be taking over Germany's Julia Hergert's spot here in 3rd place, and Sweden's Rebecca Gårdsdotter's place. So Irene Burgo just really playing this smartly and coming in 2nd after sitting in 5th most of the race. But what a great race here by Agnieszka Paludova from the Czech Republic, taking the win in this K1 1,000 meter semifinal and securing a spot in the A final. Strong finish here from Irene Burgo, who is sitting in 5th place at the 500 and managed to
really put together a really strong second 500 to take second place here in this semifinal. Third place, I believe, still remained with Germany's Julia Hergert, just over Sweden's Rebecca Gorksdotter. We'll have to wait for the final results, but really about 3 or 4 boats behind for Ariane Burgo at the 500, and such a strong second half to her race to manage to get a spot in the A final. You can see her rate just a lot higher than the rest of the field here. With 200 meters to go, still so much work to do in managing to secure a spot in the A final.
And certainly one of the most exciting things about these 1,000-meter races, so much can change between the start and the finish there, and even after that 500-meter mark here.
Yeah, it kind of looked like it was done at the 500. They had done enough work to qualify, but not so here. Irene Burgo really shuffling the cards, but it is the Czech Republic, Italy, and Germany getting a spot into the A final.
Nice to see that big smile from Haludova there.
Yeah, and again, busy program for a number of these women. They would have raced the 500, the 200, and the 1,000 now. So certainly, and some of them the K4 as well. So really busy program for a number of the women's kayak athletes that are racing today.
Yeah, and congrats to Germany, Italy, and the Czech Republic there. 3 athletes making it through to the A final. We do have 6 athletes in the next race, the men's C2 1,000-meter semifinal. 3 lanes on offer for the final, so all of them looking for that top 3 finish here. And as we head back to the start line, a quick thank you to our supporting sponsors, Pattison, McInnes Cooper, Fluid Insurance, Royal Bank of Canada, Immediate Seed, Glow the Event Store, and Docs Unlimited.
And we do already have a start for the C2 1,000-meter men event, first semifinal. There will only be actually 1 semifinal. The top 3 will advance to the A final. This was a really close finish yesterday in the heats, with Canada securing an entry directly into the A final. So we're expecting the top 3 spots here to be contested by a number of these athletes. But in lane 2, we do have the crew from Japan. In lane 3, Colombia. And 4, the Czech Republic. And 5, Brazil. And in lane 6, the Ukraine. Early on, it does look like the crew from Ukraine, Viktor Svirdyuk and Eduard Shemetielo, are currently in the lead just a little bit over Brazil, Erlan Silva and Felipe Vieira. But it is a 4-boat race as we are approaching the first 250. Ukraine from Brazil, Colombia, and the Czech Republic currently vying those 4 spots. Top 3 advancing to the A final. Really long and powerful strokes here from the Ukrainian crew, still maintaining their lead. Brazil, a little bit of a different strategy, a little lighter stroke, a little higher rate as they're coming through, but neck and neck here as we're approaching the halfway point of this race. It is the Czech Republic currently in 3rd, and Colombia still hanging on to 4th as we're approaching the halfway point of this 1,000-meter event. And at the 500, it is Ukraine over Brazil, or almost tied with Brazil, the Czech Republic, and then Colombia. Top 3 advancing to the A final in this semifinal. So great racing so far at the halfway point. Brazil and Ukraine in control, gliding their boats, maintaining a steady rhythm here. The Czech Republic just hanging on with them here, the crew of Antonin Hrabal and Jiří Zadubil. Again, lots of experience in C2 and C4, so they've raced those long races. They know how to deal with this wind, and they've been through the semifinal process, so certainly experienced. But Colombia's just staying with them here. Alejandro Ramirez and Denia Sipagota just staying strong and actually trying to make a move here after the 500, moving on and raising their rate to try to challenge the Czech crew. It looks like Ukraine's just falling behind the Brazilians a little bit here with 300 meters to go in the second half of the C2 men's 1,000 meters. So at the 250 remaining in this event, Brazil from Ukraine, the Czech Republic still holding on to 3rd, and Colombia
but Colombia trying to close the field here and close the gap to earn a spot in the A final. But Brazil just moving in control now as Ukraine is falling back a little bit. The Czech Republic moving in close to second. So it is a battle for second between Ukraine and the Czech Republic. And Colombia just trying to come back here as they're raising the rate in the last 200. They are trying to get back in that top 3 position, and the rate is coming up high, and Ukraine seems to be falling behind just a little bit. So Colombia could surprise here as they're moving strong into the last 100. Again, Ukraine just reacting to that surge as they're trying to raise the rate here and try to stay in contention. And then the Czech Republic as well, just maintaining their nose in front of the Colombian crew. But Colombia is coming strong here in the last few meters. It should be a really close race here for that 3rd spot. Brazil in control, taking that gold. But as we're coming in for 2nd and 3rd here, very, very close, and it looks like Colombia and the Czech Republic may have done enough, and Ukraine just falling short, but we'll have to wait for the photo finish. So close. But Erlon Silva and Felipe Vieira taking the win here in the C2000, and they'll move on to the A final. But such a close race for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th that we'll have to wait for the result. Too close to call for those positions.
Anytime I see you stand up, PL, I know there's a close finish coming our way, and that certainly was a great example of that. Wow.
Yeah, and great wave to the Brazilian supporters here as Brazil takes this win here in the semifinal.
Huge congrats to them.
And what a fight from Colombia here. 4th most of the way and just putting the hammer down in the last 200 to try to secure a spot. We'll see if they've done enough to manage to race in the A final, but certainly what a great race here, and all those boats will be making their way to boat control. So sometimes those smaller semifinals, people think they might not be that exciting. It's not a full race and all that, but certainly these championships have proved that wrong. It's been exciting in every semifinal. We've had some close racing, and that's just the athletes, and the level is so high that to make it in the A final, you need to be top of the world. So it's such exciting races that we've had the chance to see today so far.
Absolutely. Definitely a testament to the level of competition we're seeing here. We're going to have another example of that up next. We've got a very interesting semifinal. 4 women looking for a top 3 finish to round out the C1 500-meter final. So we'll just wait for the photo finish here, wait for those results, and then we do have a few more races coming up still this afternoon.
And again, just seeing the slow motion replay here of this the final few strokes of Brazil, but then lunge for the line. It does look like Colombia actually managed to come in 2nd place and the Czech Republic in 3rd. Ukraine just heartbreak and coming in 4th after controlling and having a spot leading them into the final. So Brazil from Colombia and then the Czech Republic look to be advancing to the A final of the C2 men's 1,000 meter. Again, the 1,000 meter here used to be the Olympic distance and was in Tokyo and then got changed to the 500 for Paris. So a number of athletes changing their focus to the 500 meter event, but great racing here from the Brazilian duo. And yes, confirmation here, Brazil to Colombia. So Alejandro Ramirez and Daniel Cipagota, great racing from them here in the 2nd half. Antonio Habal and Jiri Zalubil from the Czech Republic qualifying as well. 0.07 for Ukraine, missing on the A final. So such close racing.
Beautiful shot there of Lake Banook, downtown Dartmouth. You can see the harbor there. Wow. Gorgeous area. We've been heard so many great things from the athletes here as well, who are just enjoying not only being on the water here, but all the events around it. We're so happy to be hosting everyone here at Lake Banook in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. This is probably the most popular lake in the area here, Lake Banook, but there are actually 23 lakes, as Pierre-Luc and I learned earlier this week in Dartmouth. 23 lakes here. So thank you all so much for being with us this afternoon. We do have a short break here before a semifinal in the C1 500-meter women's semifinal. That's coming up at 4 o'clock, so about 15 minutes away. We do have another interesting semifinal coming up for women looking for a top 3 finish to round out the C1 500-meter final. And we are joined at the announcing table by Genevieve Orton, an Olympian whose international experience began right here on Lake Banook, where she competed in an exhibition K1 relay event back in '09. So, Genevieve, welcome, first of all.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here.
Yeah, great to have you. You've been in the festival area with your kids this morning. So how are you enjoying the event so far?
Oh, very much. I hadn't been able to get down to the event until today, and yeah, it's pretty spectacular. I mean, everyone always comes out in droves from Nova Scotia to volunteer for the events, and it certainly shows. It's, I mean, everything is so well organized. There's so much to do. The kids are having a blast. It's great. It's very, very heartwarming to be from here and be able to put on our best.
Yeah, absolutely. We've had so many comments just about the amount of volunteers and the friendliness of all of them too. So really great to hear that. We're looking forward to getting your thoughts on some of the races coming up. And for now, I'm going to pass it over to PL for the start line of the C1 500-meter semifinal.
Yeah, so we have 4 athletes in this semifinal, top 3 of the final. In lane 3, the 27-year-old 2018 and 2019 Senior World Championship semifinalist in C2 from Senegal, Sec. In lane 4, the 2021 Under-23B finalist in C1 200 from the United States, Andrea Gizilla. In lane 4, from Poland, the 2021 U23 bronze medalist over 200 and silver medalist over the 500 from Poland, Katarina Sperkiewicz. And in lane 6, the 2020 Tokyo Olympian racing in C1 200, she earned her spot by winning the global qualifier in Banook from Croatia, Vanessa Tot. And then a number of these athletes racing earlier, we saw in the 200, Vanessa Tot having a great race in that event, securing a spot to the A final. So just about to get underway here in the C1 500 semifinal, top 3 advancing to the A final. So athletes are just getting to the start line now, and we're about to get underway here. Again, lane 3, Senegal, lane 4, the United States, lane 5, Poland, and lane 6, Croatia. And we have a start in the semifinal of the C1 Women 500 meters. Strong start from the Polish athlete here, Katarina Sperkiewicz, the 2021 Under-23 bronze medalist and silver medalist. Great start as well here from the United States, Andrea Gizilla, as they're getting underway here in the first few hundred meters of this 500-meter semifinal. Also having a great race here in the first part of this 500 meter is Croatia's Vanessa Tot, just holding on strong strokes here as they know they only have to come top 3 to move to the A final. So lots of experience just controlling their pace here, spending as little energy as they need to in this 500. But you want to have a good race in these semifinals to set you up for the final. Certainly the strategy that Poland's Katarina Sperkiewicz is employing here as they're crossing the first 200 meters of this race and approaching the halfway point. And at the 250-meter mark, it is Poland from the United States, then Croatia, and Senegal just rounding the field here in the first semifinal of the C1 Women 500 meters. Again, top 3 advancing to the A final. So strong racing here from the Polish athlete, in control, open water on the rest of the field. The United States coming in second, just staying and doing enough to control and stay in second place. Third place currently for Vanessa Tot from Croatia, and Senegal's Canoe-Kayak just rounding the field as she's approaching the 200 meters left in this 500-meter race. And entering the last 100 meters, like what the athletes are seeing here from this shot, you can see the red buoys coming in as the athletes are making their way in the last 100 of this 500-meter race.
controlling the pace here, strong technique, lots of powerful strokes from the Polish athletes. Katarina Spyrkiewicz just coming in to take the win here in a few strokes in this semi-final of the C1 Women 500. In second place at the moment, the United States' Andrea Gazilla, and in third, Croatia's Vanessa Tot, as they're coming in here in the last few meters of this semi-final in the Women's C1 500. But no doubt about the winner here, taking the win in this C1 500 semifinal, is Poland's Katarina Spyrkiewicz, and advancing to the A final later this week.
Congrats to those three athletes, and looking forward to seeing that final. Next up, we have the women's K2 semifinals, and Genevieve Orton has joined us here at the announcing table. Genevieve, you understand better than most the sacrifices it takes to reach this level of competition. So what's going through your mind as you see these women preparing to start?
Well, like you said, any athlete who's at this level of competition, it's certainly an entirely sort of lifelong thing. Like their life is consumed by doing this sport. But I think really the athletes that are going to shine this week are going to be the athletes who really thrive on that daily training environment. It's going to be those athletes who really don't see it as a sacrifice that are going to be the ones seeing success this week. I guess as I watch athletes line up from a distance now, I've been out of the sport for about 5 years, it's crazy to me how quickly it comes back to you. The mindset when you look at the girls or males on the start line, you see their faces, you see the concentration, and it's like riding a bike. It takes you right back there. So it's really exciting to be able to be in a bit of a different position, but same thing, memories are not far away.
Yeah, I imagine it's hard to not feel that anxiety or adrenaline rush, even though you're a spectator now.
For sure, yeah, definitely.
Well, we're thrilled to have you here today, and I believe we're heading to the start line here in just a few moments.
Yeah, we do have confirmation of those advancements to the A final. Poland, United States, and Croatia advancing. Great race from Senegal here as well in the semifinal. And we're about to get underway in the women's K2 500 meters about 2 minutes from now. One of two semifinals, top three advancing to the A final, 4th to 7th, and 1/8 best time to the B final. So should expect some great racing here in the the semifinals of this event. Again, the Olympic distance for the women's K2 500. So we'll have athletes from France, Argentina, Italy, China, Canada, Hungary, Great Britain, Spain, and Finland going in this first of two semifinals.
We've got some slight headwind conditions out there, so this is going to be a challenging race for smaller crews. For sure, the bigger girls are going to be enjoying this one.
Yeah, so in lane 1, from France, Manon Austin and Léon Jamelot. In lane 2, a two-time Olympian in K15 and 200, and a 2016 Rio Olympian pairing up from Argentina, Maria Garro and Brenda Rojas. In lane 3, Italy's Agatha Fantini and Matilde Rosa. In lane 4, athlete competing last year in Tokyo, and 6th in Richitse earlier this year from China, Nan Wang and Yunwen Sun. In lane 5, our Canadian crew of Adrienne Langlois and Toshka Rebecca lining up here in this 500. In lane 6, bronze at the Tokyo Olympic, but starting a new crew here who are the 2021 World Silver Medalists in K2 200 from Hungary, Bianca Kiss and Anna Lutz. In lane 7, from Great Britain, two Olympians, Deborah Kerr and Emma Russell. And in lane 8, Spain's Ada Boza and Bigona Latsanko. And in lane 9, from Finland, Sara Mihalik and Netta Melina. And we are underway here in this semi-final of the women's K2 500 meters. Top three advancing to the A final. Great start here from the Hungarian, again, a medalist and world champion actually in the 200 meter event last year. So certainly quite a crew to watch here, partly medalist last year. So certainly getting off the blocks really well, but Canada sticking with them here in the early stages. The crew of Adrienne Langlois and Toshka Rebecca, finalists at the World Cups earlier this year. We know they have the speed. They made the final in the 200 earlier this week. So right now it is Hungary and Canada out in front of the field. The rest of the field behind, so close for third. So early going here at the 200. It is Hungary and Canada leading the way in the semifinal of the women's K2 500. Top three advancing to the A final.
Canada looking very strong. The secret for them is going to be just to find that really strong, powerful race pace and make sure they can carry that all the way through. But a great start for those girls. It's nice to be in the mix early on.
Yeah, and currently in third and fourth is France and China, but it is still open right now for those 3 spots. We know that second half can be very, very tight as athletes are making a push for the final, but we are looking at Canada and Hungary currently in the top 2 places, but Cruz starting to bring up the rate now as we're getting to the last 100 meters, those red buoys, but Canada currently in the lead of the semifinal, driving towards the finish line, controlling the race here. Andriane Langlois and Tashka Bishara, Rebecca really coming strong. Great Britain mounting a challenge in the last few meters, but Hungary is still holding on strong. France coming in lane 1 as well. Really close finish here for those 3 positions as we're getting close to the finish, but Canada still holding on. Great Britain coming in, but Canada is making its way through with a second place and so close for third. We'll have to wait for the finish, but Andriane Langlois and Tashka Bishara making it through. Great Britain taking the win in this first semifinal of the K2 women 500 meters.
That was a fantastic race for those 2 Canadian girls, and that'll feel really good moving into the final with a strong finish like that.
Wow, my heart is still pounding there from that ending. Oh my gosh. Such a close finish there. It's so exciting to hear the Canadian fans really cheering on our team here.
Yeah, the Canadians looking really strong through the finish, and it's hard to say. Maybe they've got a little bit more in the tank. I don't know that you would really empty the tank on that event, knowing that you for sure have secured your way into the final. So it'll be very exciting to see what they can pull off.
Let's talk a little bit more about that, Genevieve. Is there a benefit to a finals journey that takes a crew through heats and semis like this, or is that direct path kind of always the better option?
I think it very much depends on the crew. I'd say crews that have been together for a bit longer, maybe got a bit more race experience. Sometimes it's better to just cruise through in the heats, get the job done, and carry on, no rest and focus. But I mean, a lot of these newer crews, the learning curve is very steep for racing. You don't get the opportunity to race under pressure as much as you do train. It's not comparable. You can do time controls till the cows come home, but it doesn't compare to performing on the day. So I think a lot of newer crews could benefit from the extra opportunity to come down the race course. That being said, there is definitely a fatigue factor, particularly on days like this where it's very hot. The races are slow, so we are racing for a lot longer. Any athlete, doesn't matter how long you've been at it, when you wake up on race day, you've got the buzz for the whole day, and that, aside from the actual effort of the race, that is exhausting. So doing that day by day by day can really take a toll by the time the finals come around. So I would say fitness is definitely a factor, and experience is definitely a factor, but certainly crews have won going through semifinals quite often. So it's definitely not a game changer to have to race through a semi.
Yeah, you certainly. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, and as we've seen with the Canadian girls, it can be such a confidence boost here.
Yeah.
So, can definitely be a benefit.
Absolutely, and getting those final results here. So it is Great Britain with that first spot, the Canadians coming in second there, France in third. Those 3 teams making it to the A final. Hungary, China, and Argentina will go through to the B final, and Spain as well, making it to the B final. And back over to PL for the start line for this second heat here.
Yeah.
Second semifinal.
And just reflecting on that previous race, 0.09 and 0.08 between third, fourth, and fifth. So such a close race to make. The field in the K2 500 is so deep that really top of the B, bottom of the A, and all the way to the medals is such a close field. So great to see all these athletes. And we're just about to get going here in the second heat, and second semi, of the K2 500. So in lane 1, the United States, Caitlin McElroy and Emma McDonald. Lane 2, the bronze medalist in the K2 200 in 2018, and also competed in K2 and K4 in Tokyo. So from Ukraine, Anastasia Horlova and Lyudmila Kuklinovska. In lane 3, Sweden, Linnea Stensel and Moa Wickberg, who made the final earlier in the K2 200. In lane 4, the Tokyo 2020 Olympic gold medalist in this event, Lisa Carrington, joined by Alicia Oskin here. So in lane 4, New Zealand. Lane 5, a Tokyo 2020 Olympian, joined by the 2021 Under-23 K1 world champion from Denmark, Frederikke Mathisen Bolland Iversen. In lane 6, from Mexico, Karina Alanis and Marcela Montemayor. Lane 7, from the Czech Republic, is Katarina Zarubova and Barbora Betlakova.
Lane 8 from the Netherlands, Selma Konijan and Ruth Vorselman. And in lane 9 from Singapore, Seiso and Chiksang Chen. And we are just about to get underway here in the second semifinal of the women's K2 500, top 3 going to the A final.
And you can see the girls trying to hold their boats in the blocks, which is a little bit more challenging in the headwind. You kind of have to constantly hold it, and they are off.
Yeah, so strong start here in lane 2 from Ukraine, just jumping a little bit in front of the rest of the field. We saw that happen in the previous race. Hungary just jumping quickly, but fading a little bit later. But New Zealand here increasing the rate as you'd expect. Lisa Carrington's got a lot of speed, and we saw that earlier in the K1 500 with her dominating her heat there. But her and Alicia Oskins right now in front in the semifinal of the K2 500. And strong start here as well in lane 3. The crew from Sweden, Linnea Stenzel and Moa Wickberg, also driving through, securing second at the moment. Very close for third between the Ukraine and a number of crews as we are coming through 200 meters and approaching the halfway point of this race. It does look like New Zealand is currently in the lead with Sweden in second. Very close for third here as we have Denmark and the Ukraine concurrently in the third and fourth. Again, top 3 advancing to the A final with 200 meters to go. It is New Zealand from Sweden, and then Denmark at this stage controlling the top 3 positions.
And again, in a race like this, the race is for that third position right now to make it into the A final. The top 2 out front are probably sitting steady, just trying to make sure that they stay where they're at. The big race here is for that last position.
And we're seeing Denmark make a little bit of a challenge here on that second place crew from Denmark as well, and trying to hold off the field behind them. Strong race as well in the outer lanes here. Netherlands, the Czech Republic, Mexico trying to move here on the Danish crew, but it looks like they have too much to do as we're getting close to the final few meters here. It is New Zealand, Denmark, and Sweden as we're approaching, but really strong finish from the Czechs here, and Netherlands, but just a little bit too late.
And Denmark squeezing out Sweden at the end there. Like I said, these girls are confident. They're comfortable to be anywhere in that top 3 at this point.
Yeah, so winners here in this second semifinal from New Zealand, Alicia Oskins and Lisa Carrington. Moving on to the A final, and there'll be ones to watch for medals in this final.
Genevieve, when you were competing and you were going through some of these situations where maybe you had to go, semifinals and then into the finals, what was your plan sort of in between during that recovery time and then prepping for that big final race?
A little bit it changed based on what had happened in the first race. I mean, sometimes you need to go and tweak the race plan. Sometimes you feel a little bit more tired. You need a little bit more to eat, more physical therapy. But generally, it's just, make sure you know the race plan, talk with the partner, evaluate what happened in the first one, what needs to change, if anything, and just rest up and be ready for the next one.
And you spent a lot of time, obviously, here at Lake Banook. What are some of the unique conditions that athletes might have to deal with here?
I mean, I love it here, so I'm a bit biased. But I mean, in the 1,000-meter races, many times you can encounter like 3 different wind conditions from the top end to the bottom end, which is challenging but also good. I mean, it lets you show a bigger skill set sometimes if you want to look at a positive. So yeah, I think for sure that would be the one thing that comes to mind is the conditions can be challenging, but. The last time I raced here at the World Championships, it was the best week of all time. It was completely flat the entire week, so that was really, the lake behaved really well for me that week. It was awesome.
Amazing, yeah, and I think the athletes here have had a pretty good experience so far, so that's great to hear. Thank you so much for joining us. It was such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you as well to the Village Shops at Dartmouth Crossing for providing parking solutions here for both volunteers and for spectators. And we take you now over to the men's K2 500-meter semifinal action.
And we have confirmation of those results for the women's semifinal. So New Zealand, Denmark, and Sweden advancing to the A final just before we move on to the men's K2 500 semifinals. So we'll have 2 semifinals for the men as they vie for spots here in the A final. we are about to get underway in just a few minutes, about 2 minutes from now. And this first semifinals will feature athletes from Japan, Argentina, Denmark, China, Australia, the Ukraine, the United States, Spain, and the Chinese Taipei. And in lane 1, a B finalist from the 2019 World Cup in Duisburg, who's pairing up with the 2021 K1 200 B finalist at the World Cup in Russia last year. From Japan, Akihiro Iori Miura. In lane 2, the 21-year-old making his World Championship debut is joining the 2016 Olympian in K4000 from Argentina, Gonzalo Benassi and Gonzalo Carreras. In lane 3, from Denmark, René Poulsen and Victor Asmol. In lane 4, 6th place finisher in the K1000 in Tokyo, pairing up with the 2019 12th place finisher in K1500 from China, Dong Zhang and Chi Wang. In lane 5, from Australia, the defending Olympic champion in the K2000, John Westhuizen and Thomas Green. In lane 5, from Ukraine, winners earlier this year in Rachitse, Ole Kukarik and Igor Trunov. In lane 7, from the United States, the 2021 Under-23 K2000 9th place finisher and Jonas Ecker and Aaron Small. In lane 8, Spain, Roy Rodriguez and Carlos Perez. And in lane 9, the 22-year-old in his first World Championship, who's pairing up with the K2000 bronze medalist from the 2021 Asian Olympic qualifier from Chinese Taipei, Wen Wang and Yung Lin. And it looks like we had a false start here in this first semifinal of the men's K2 500 meters, pardon me. So the athletes will just reset here and we'll get back to the starting block so that we can get underway in this semifinal. Once again, top 3 to the A final, 4 to 6 to the final B. The rest will be out of this event. And pardon me, we actually have 3 semifinals, not 2 in this event, so more K2 men races coming our way. And these are close races. We should expect some really close finishes as we have all day. So some exciting racing coming up, including our Canadian crew racing in the semifinal a little bit later today. They will be in the second semifinal starting in lane 4.
Certainly a lot of anticipation for that. A lot of Canadian fans out here today on the sideline, so great to see that. And these athletes are just heading back to the start line here after that false start. Those of you joining us on the live stream, we are enjoying our day here at beautiful Lake Banook. This is a naturally occurring lake here in Nova Scotia. Paddling so loved here that there are 3 sprint canoe clubs on this lake alone. A lot of members of Canada's national team train here, and the passion for canoeing in this community has been here for more than a century.
So crews are just resetting now and getting ready to go. Once again, lane 1, Japan, lane 2, Argentina, lane 3, Denmark, lane 4, China, lane 5, Australia, lane 6, the Ukraine, lane 7, the United States, lane 8, Spain, and lane 9, Chinese Taipei. In the K2 men's 500 meter semifinal 1. Once again, this is the Olympic distance now in this event. It was the 1,000 meters in Tokyo and has been changed for Paris. So lots of excitement building around this event. And we have a start here in this first semifinal of the men's K2 500 meters, expecting a really, really tight field here. We saw that through the heats earlier on this week. Very strong performances from a number of crews, so should be a really tight field here as we're coming through. But it does look like Ukraine and Australia are heading out to a great start, as well as Spain and China here in the early stages of this race. Argentina, Gonzalo Benassi and Gonzalo Carreras also having a great start here as we're approaching the 200-meter mark of this 500-meter race. So at the halfway point, it is Argentina, Australia, Denmark, and China, all within half a second at this point.
4-9 between the 4 position. Top 3 advancing directly to the final, but with 200 meters to go, still anyone's game here. Argentina, Denmark, Australia, and Ukraine all in the mix. Big push from Spain on the outside as well as they're trying to move back into contention. Really close racing here as well. The United States having a great race here as well, pushing for a finish and a berth in this A final, as it is currently Australia continuing to have a great race, as well as the Ukraine coming in. The United States having a strong showing here and coming in 3rd place here, securing a spot in the A final. You can see how much that means to them here. Again, the Olympic event, securing a spot in the A final. Great, great result here from the US. But the winners for this first semifinal for Australia, John Westhuizen and Thomas Green, the defending Olympic champion in K2000, moving on to the 500 now and doing extremely well in this distance.
Congrats to the Australian team there. You can see them paddling off to the side now.
Yeah, close racing again, lead changes throughout. We saw a number of boats taking early leads and then just giving too much energy quickly and then having boats coming in the last half. It is a little bit of a headwind. It is subsiding slightly, especially at the bottom of the course now. So there are opportunities to make a little bit of moves as things are going through. But great racing here from all these athletes. Tight racing, and that's what we want to see here in these semifinals.
Really seeing some of the overhead shots here. This one too, just how close this race was.
Yeah, and at the 200 meters there, it does look like Argentina and Denmark were still in contention, China as well, but the United States making a late surge here, and the under 23 athletes here, again, K1000 B finalists and K2000 9th place finisher from last year pairing up, and that pairing is working as they're securing a spot in the A final.
Oh, look at them, you can see them celebrating.
And again, confirmation of those results here. So Australia moving on, the Ukraine and the United States moving to the A final, Denmark, Argentina, and a number of other crews moving to the B final. And we are about getting ready to get underway here in the second semifinal. We do have a start in the second semifinal of the men's K2 500 in lane 1, Mexico, lane 2, Poland, lane 3, Slovakia, lane 4, Canada, lane 5, Portugal, lane 6, Lithuania, lane 7, Italy, lane 8, Sweden, and lane 9, Finland. Really strong start here from the Canadian crew as well as Portugal and Lithuania. About 5 boats jumping to an early lead here. Again, top 3 making it directly to the A final. So lots on the line here for these crews in this second semifinal of the men's K2 500 meters. Canada vying for a win here with the Portuguese crew as they're approaching the halfway point. Also the crew from Poland in lane 2 having a great race so far. It is Canada from Poland, Portugal, and Lithuania at the halfway point of this second semifinal. At the 200 meters, it looks like Canada is taking a slight lead over Portugal and Poland. Simon McTavish and Pierre-Luc Poulin just having a great race here. They are finalists from earlier this year in K2 500 of the World Cup, so they know what they're doing here. But late surge here from a number of crews, so Canada will have to hold on strong. It does look like Portugal is making a move here. Canada is still holding on Poland, and then Lithuania mounting a late surge. But Canada is moving on Poland a little bit as they're coming in the last 9 meters. It will be a nail biter, folks, as we're coming in for 3rd place here. It is Portugal from Lithuania, but 3rd place still open, and Slovakia in the last 50 meters comes in to take that 3rd position, moving into the A final. Canada and Poland will be a photo finish for 4th. And the winners for that second semifinal from Portugal, Jorge Ribeiro and Messias Batista. Close racing here again in the men's field in the K2 men's 500. Again, saw some lead changes as we were going through. A lot of late surges in the last 200s, but that start's so crucial to set you up to a nice rhythm as you're transitioning to your travel pace. We heard earlier from Genevieve, this race, yes, it's about the start, but it's really about setting yourself up and being able to move the boats in K2 and then working with your partners to not tire herself out too much. So the Canadians here jumping to an early lead, trying to hang on, but the Slovakian a full boat behind with 200 meters to go. Lots of experience. They were bronze last year at the World Championship and starting a new crew, but lots of experience here. They were, bronze in Tokyo last year in K4, so coming in the last few meters, earning their spot in the A final by passing Canada and Poland here with about 20 meters to go. So Portugal from Lithuania and Slovakia does look like Poland and then Canada in the second semifinal of the men's K2 500.
Well, if this is any indication, big action coming up in the finals. I think we can expect some very close races there.
Yeah, certainly as this race builds up towards the final in Paris in this event, but what great racing as those results get confirmed here. And yes, Portugal getting confirmation as they're seeing they're the winner of this semifinal. And yes, it is Portugal from Lithuania and Slovakia advancing to the A final. Poland and Canada, 0.09 between those two crews, go into the B final alongside Italy.
Certainly another scorcher of a day here on Lake Banook, packed with action as well. We are heading into our final event of the day, and we would like to thank our sponsors, Sport Canada, the province of Nova Scotia, and the Halifax Regional Municipality.
Donc nous voulons prendre un moment pour remercier nos commanditaires Sport Canada, la province de la Nouvelle-Écosse et la municipalité régionale d'Halifax. So we're just about to start our last event of the day here, the third semifinal of the men's K2 500 meters. Top three advancing to the A final, 4 to 6 to final B. In lane one, the 32-year-old who's been racing on the international circuit since 2014, pairing up with last year's World Championships K1 500 and 200 athlete, Guang Teo and Brendan Oy from Singapore. In lane two from Uruguay, Eric Verdier and Sebastian Del Dago. In lane three from Latvia, Aldis Vilde and Alexei Romanchev. In lane 4 from Hungary, Bensinadash Balint Kopash, the Olympic champion in the K1 1000. In lane 5, including the 2019 K4 world champion and 2021 bronze medalist and the 2019 junior world champion from Germany, Felix Franz Moritz Forsted. In lane 6, the 2021 bronze medalist in K4 500 meters from the Czech Republic, Jakub Spikar and Daniel Havel. In lane 7, B finalist last year at the World Championship, featuring Arthur Peters, a double Olympian from Belgium, Brad Sickens and Arthur Peters. In lane 8, from New Zealand, Max Brown and Curtis Imre, 5th at Tokyo in 2020 in K2000. And in lane 9, bronze last year at the World Championship, different crew this year, Slovakia's Eric Vlecek and Adam Botek. Pardon me, Slovenia in lane 9. And athletes are in the booth now as we are getting ready to go. Again, in lane 1, Singapore, Uruguay, Latvia, Hungary, Germany, Czech Republic, Belgium, New Zealand, and Slovenia. We are underway in our final event of the day here on day 3 of Canoe 22. Strong start here from the Hungarian crew of Bence Nadash and Balint Kopash in this K2 men's 500 meters. Top 3 advancing to the A final. Germany blasting off the line here. Felix Franz and Moritz Forsted jumping to an early lead. Strong start as well from New Zealand and Belgium here in the early stages of this race. So it is at this stage Germany, Hungary, and it looks like Latvia came currently in 3rd place with 200 meters, but coming into the 250, a number of boats surging forward, including New Zealand and Belgium. And at the halfway point, it is Hungary from Germany, Latvia, and then New Zealand. Again, top 3 advancing to the A final. Strong push here from New Zealand and Belgium as we are entering the last 200. It is still Germany from Hungary, then Latvia, but Belgium, the Czech Republic, and New Zealand mounting a strong challenge here as they're trying to vie for that 3rd place and moving into an A final contention. Seeing the Czech Republic here raising their rate, as well as Belgium and New Zealand. Strong push here by these 3 crews to try to catch
Latvia, who seems to be fading a little bit here in the last stages of this race, should be a really close finish for that last spot into the A final. Germany and Hungary still controlling the pace, but crews are moving quickly in the last few meters here. The Czech Republic coming in strong in the last few stages and taking that third place and moving on to the A final.
So great race here from Germany, Hungary, and late charge from the Czech Republic, but it is Hungary, Bencsenadash and Belin Kopash who take the win here in the third semifinal of the men's K2 500.
What a way to end the day here. Big semifinals, setting us up for some big and exciting finals over the next 2 days here, PL.
Yeah, it's been a crazy day. Close semifinals all day. Some exciting medal ceremonies. It certainly has been a day to remember here as we reach the midpoint of these World Championships and are turning our attentions to finals in the next few days. So certainly going to be quite exciting. Great performances from a number of athletes. Canada performing extremely well. So it should be an exciting number of days coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. So much to look forward to still over the next 2 days that we have. And as we wrap up day 3 of competition, we do want to thank the volunteers who make this event possible. More than 600 putting in 80,000 volunteer hours. They have been working tirelessly in the weeks and days leading up to this and throughout the event as well. So if you do see them around, please give them a big thank you. They are really the energy that is powering this event forward. Organizations and businesses in our community also playing an instrumental role. Thank you to Support for Sport, the proud sponsor of those volunteers. Nova Scotia Gaming Corporation Support for Sport program raises funds for training and development opportunities for athletes, coaches, and officials throughout Nova Scotia. We'll just wait for those final results here of this last semifinal of the day. Should be coming in here. We've got one last look at the finish here. Such an exciting one. And there are the results there. So in first place, Hungary, second, Germany, third, the Czech Republic, all 3 of them heading to the A final. And then we have Latvia, Belgium, and New Zealand heading to the B final. So look forward to seeing those teams compete in those finals over the next 2 days. At this time, we also do want to thank Downtown Dartmouth, Develop Nova Scotia, Halifax Water, our beverage sponsors, 9 Locks, Lake City Cider, and Coldstream Distillery, and our travel partner, Turnkey Travel. The action on the lake might be over for the day, but tonight our Canoe 22 concert series continues on the main stage in the festival area. The music begins at 7 o'clock and there is something for everyone. Singer-songwriter Brooklyn Blackmore will get things started this evening. She will then hand the mic to Uniac Square's own Aquaculture, a versatile songwriter and band leader who blends beats, rap, and singing to craft his powerful R&B vibes. And then it is time to rock with Chima Aquatic Club's Adam Baldwin. Adam's journey through music has taken him a long way from Lake Thomas. He is known for the depth of emotion in his music and a no-holds-barred stage presence. So don't miss him tonight as well. That's also on the main stage. And as we leave you for the day, a big shout out to the companies that are working through this heat to deliver Canoe 22 to everyone.